Hey everyone, this is Benjamin here from the African Geek, and you are welcome to this fantastic tutorial inside of Canva. Today, what we are going to be doing is what you see on my screen, and honestly, this is very easy and very simple. You just need some few tips and tricks to be able to carry you out. So if you are interested in designing this with me, stay tuned and I will be right back after the intro. Right, and just in case you are still using the free version of Canva, there's a special link I have down there that can help you to upgrade to Canva Pro. Or if you want to try Canva Pro for 30 days free, the same link can help you do that. So I would want you to check out the link and start enjoying Canva Pro. Let's dive into Canva and let's see what we have to do. So this is the design we are going to be making, and if you take a look at it, this is very simple. You understand? You can see from the beginning we have some gradients and how we are even using our text, and at the bottom here, even though it looks plain, but you can see it has some sort of texture. So let's see how we are going to make that in Canva. And maybe you might need Canva Pro to be able to find good images for this tutorial, but just in case you're on the free version of Canva, there are some free stock photos websites you can check out, like on Splash, like Pixabay. There are so many of them, but these ones are some of the ones you can check out and find some images that suit you. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to create a second page, as you can see over here, and taking a look at me, you're just going to follow all these steps. So the first thing you do is come into photos, and in photos you only have to search for walking. Okay, so you just have to search for walking. Oh, what did I just do? Okay, it looks like I forgot how to spell walking, and this is the image I use, but you can use any other image at all. So in this tutorial, let me just use this one, okay, over here, so that just to give the impression that you can use any image at all. But the thing is, you would have to make sure, because of how the design looks like, the image should be somewhere to the right. Okay, so maybe let me replace it with this. Okay, I think this one works perfectly. Nice one. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to come into element, and in element you search for gradient. Okay, and I'm sure by this time you know how to use gradients very well. Okay, so go into graphics and you see this rectangle one over here. Okay, so just place it right on top of your photo. And just in case you don't know how to use gradients, this tutorial or this thumbnail you see right here, it's a video I made some time ago that can help you understand and know how to use gradients. So check it out after you've watched this video. Okay, so come to your colors, and since it's giving you the option to change colors, with the first color you can choose a red. Okay, and with the second color you click on it, you click on the plus. You can choose maybe a yellow or an orange, any one of them, but I would go for a yellow. Then I come to transparency and I reduce the transparency a little bit like this. Okay, so you can see how this is looking right now. Okay, so now we come to text. Okay, and you can just click on add a heading. So in this I want to say God, God, and I select or come to the typeface area, and I will just search for League Spartan. Okay, this is a free font, so you can find it in Canva Pro or free. Okay, so yes, this is what I have here. I come to the spacing, and the letter spacing, we will reduce it a little bit. Okay, nice one. Then we increase it more, and I will position it here. Okay, now we just come to change the color and make it white. Very simple. So you can see how it's looking. We are going to add our second text. Okay, so what we'll do is I just press T on my keyboard, and if your T is messing up like it always does, then what you have to do is just come back to text and click on subheading or anyone, because we are going to change the font. Okay, so let me check the font I use. Okay, it's called Mistrully. Okay, so I click here and I just search for Mistrully. Wow, it's an interesting font. Okay, so I make it bigger, and I can just say, I can say any word at all. Okay, so you can also use any word at all, but I will just stick to what I use first. Walking with God. Okay, so I put it here and I increase the size. Okay, then I right click. Okay, it's already to the front, and I drop it down a little bit. So you can see, because both colors are white, we are finding it difficult to see the G. Okay, so what we do is we click on it, come to effect, in effect click on shadow, in shadow change the color to black. Okay, yes, and that's not it. You increase the blurriness of it, understand, and the transparency we can increase it slightly to 50, okay, which I think is cool. And we are going to do the same thing for the God, which is God. Okay, so come to shadow also, and we'll first of all change the color to black. Then what we do is we'll increase the blurriness and reduce the offset of this one, okay, to maybe 30. Okay, then with the transparency you can increase it slightly. You can see, even though both colors are white, the shadow helps us to just identify the walking. Okay, so I click on this and I drop it down here a little bit. Okay, so the next element I am going to use, let me just select it from here, is this shadow I always use. And I think at this point you should always have it. The link is in the description box below, so you can just find it and import it into Canva so that we can start using it, or so that anytime you are watching the tutorial from me and I'm using it, you already have it in your Canva. You don't have to now go fetching it. Okay, so yeah, and I use it mostly because the Canva version of this doesn't really work to my satisfaction. That's why I like to use this external one. Okay, all right, so I just drop it here and I will come here. Okay, then we can do then you can double click and drop it down slightly. Okay, so you can drop it more. All right, so you can see how this is looking, and we can send it to the back. Okay, or you can still bring it to the front if you want. Let me see what I did here. I think I sent it to the back, so we just do the same over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'll press T again and position this down here, and I would add a subtext here. Okay, so I'll just do this, and it's already Montserrat, so we'll change this to, let's say, Thanksgiving service. Okay, and you can use any font at all, not any font but any word at all you want to use. Okay, so I'll increase this, and let me see. Okay, I align it to the left, then I come to the spacing and I increase the letter spacing. Okay, nice one. So this is what we have over here. Maybe I'll just change my gradients, okay, to the same one I use. So the red, I'll choose the purple for the beginning color, and the second one I think is a blue, which is also looking cool. And if you watch the video I recommended earlier, you would see that it will help you just to understand how to use grading, because it's a very simple technique and everything has been listed out in that particular video I recommended. This is the thumbnail again for the video, so once you just finish with this tutorial, I would highly recommend you check that one out also. Okay, so back into our design. Click on the Thanksgiving and we'll change the color to yellow, and this yellow is my yellow over here, which is FFB800. Okay, so this is what we have over here. Then let's come and work on this portion of it. Okay, or let's finish with this side first. So add a rectangle by pressing R on your keyboard, resize it like I've done. Okay, and reduce this part, position it here. Okay, and I'll change the color to white. Then I will also reduce the transparency of this. Okay, so let me increase this. Okay, I trim it, shorten it, and duplicate it. All right, so with this side you can just do anything you feel looks best on it. Okay, so you can see we have another text over here which is looking very cool. So let's come into elements. In elements we'll close what we searched, okay, earlier on. Then we come to line and shape, so click on see all. Okay, when you scroll down slightly you'll see the shape I used. Okay, so let's keep scrolling. So this is the shape I used, Okay, you can stretch it out, reduce the size. All right, and you can position it here. Okay, so we can just state over here that part 3, but first of all we just change the color to the yellow, okay, because we have a yellow here, so that they both work together. And we duplicate it, okay, change the color to a black, send it to the back, okay, or you can use Ctrl plus the square bracket, or you can click on position and click backward. All right, then we drop it down a little bit and reduce the transparency, so you can see what we have over here. Nice one. Okay, so then I just copy the part 3, okay, and just drop it here. Okay, so you just have to write part 3 or any text at all you want, and you add it. Okay, very beautiful. Nice one here. All right, so with how it's slanted, okay, I think we already added the italic, or you can just make this white, okay, because we have a lot of white in there, so maybe white, or the red even makes it stick out, so we can still leave it to red. Okay, so now come to the bottom part of your design, come to photos. In photos you can choose ground. Okay, so when you search ground texture, you can search for ground texture, you get a lot of these. Select any of them, okay, like how we have here. Right click, set the image as background, then you click on the image, click on transparency and reduce the transparency slightly. Okay, reduce it slightly, and this is what we have over here. So in this case we just have to do all of this. So I just duplicated this text over here, okay, brought it to the bottom, and I just said width. Okay, so select all, and I'll change the color to the color I used. Okay, so select on, I just say WITH, okay, and we'll just have to remove the background. So click on effect and come and click on none. Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, then I added the name, which I will just copy and paste over here. All right, okay, so now that I've done this, you'll be wondering how I was able to make this shape. So the simple thing is I press L on my keyboard for line, okay, and the color is white right now, that's why you can't see it. So I'll change the color of the line to black or to black. Okay, increase the size, make sure it fits, you know, the length is the same or slightly more than the name over here. Okay, then I'll reduce it, duplicate it. Okay, then I duplicate it and bring it here, so you can see what we have over here. Okay, then I duplicate it again and I rotate it to negative 90 degrees. Okay, so this is what we have over here. Then reduce the size and make sure it's still negative 90 degrees. Okay, then position it here. Then okay, so this is what we have at the moment. Select all of it and group them. So you can use Ctrl G for group. So I'm sure you can see that it's just a matter of being creative with all of the elements we have available in Canva, and all it is looking like something that was used or was designed in Photoshop. So you see, it's very, very simple. Let's just finish up with it and you can go have your food. Okay, all right, so the next thing we have to do is to add all of the information, and in this case I'll just copy and paste this over here because this is just an element. So what you have to do is just to come to element, and in element you just search for location. Okay, so you search for location, you add it. Okay, very simple. You resize it, and you also search for call and Facebook. Okay, very simple. Then with the text, this one is Montserrat Classic, just to highlight certain things, and the remaining is the regular Montserrat, like we did for the name over here. Okay, then what we did next is to add our time and date. Okay, so let me just copy this, bring it down here and paste. So You'll be wondering how I did this. So this is just a circle. Press C on your keyboard for circle, okay? Or you can come to still in element, but you close this up, you see line and shapes over here, okay? Then just select on circles, okay? As simple as that. Okay, then you add your text. So you can just duplicate this one over here and change it to 9 a.m. Okay, very simple. Then you close this up, okay, like I've done, and you just position it on your circle, but in this case you increase the size a little bit. Then with the dates, the same font size and the same style, but the only thing is I duplicated one of these and changed it to February. Okay, then we have this over here, so I copy and I paste. So how I was able to do this is I used two different shapes. Okay, so after I did that, I grouped all of it. So I'll just show you what I did. Okay, so I added a shape over here, position it here. Okay, let me reduce the size. Then I resize it like this, duplicated it and positioned it here. All right, then I squeezed it this way, change this one to red, okay, to the red, and this one to a blue. Okay, then you just add your text. So you just duplicate any of these text over here, then you can just say live. Okay, squeeze it up, or you can just tuck it in, position it here, and make sure the size fits into your shape. Okay, then select all and choose white. Then you just duplicate it. Okay, duplicate it, and you can just say Facebook and use small caps for this. Okay, or if it's Instagram live or anything like that, you can just use that. Okay, then we position it here. Then then you select all of it, then you press Ctrl G. Okay, or you come here, you see group over here, and you just group it. So that's how I did that. Okay, so after you do all of this, press R again on your keyboard for rectangle, and if your R is messing up or is still on vacation, you can just come to element, you see line and shapes, click on this, okay, the same thing, and just make it long like what I've done. Okay, then we position it right here. Okay, and that's it. So now coming to the logo, what I did is I added my logo. In this case, you also need to add your logo. Okay, so you also need to add your logo. So I paste it here, then I just added the line. So you press L on your keyboard for line, position it nicely. Okay, and the same thing over here, position it nicely. This is what we have. Then I added this small text of conference, so it's just the same words I've used, or the same font. Okay, but I reduced the size. Let me just copy and paste. Okay, so I reduced the size and I just rotated it to -90 degrees, and I increased the spacing like with it. So you come to spacing and you increase the letter spacing, then you change the color to white. Okay, then you position it nicely over here. So that's all I did for this particular design. You see, I just hope you found this tutorial very easy and very simple, and I think this is something you should be able to create with your eyes closed and all of that. Don't forget that I still have the links to the element, and I still have the links to Canva Pro in the description box below. One more thing is I'm still working on my website, and with the freebies website is going to be coming up soon. Because of some few things that went wrong, I had to take down the whole website, which is the shop.theafricangeek.com, and currently rebuilding it. So very soon I'll be updating you all on what had been done so far. Just in case you also feel like supporting, there's a link down there you can just use to support African Geek for the videos you are enjoying. So yes, the name is Benjamin, and do not forget, there is no limit to creativity. I will see you in my next video.